Hello. Thank you for joining me live on Personality Speaking, where the tea is always hot. My name is Karen Ward. I'm an advanced certified personality trainer and speaker. I am a personality coach and the author of the book, Couple for Life, Overcoming Personality Differences and Marriage. Tonight's episode is pre-recorded, you guys, because we had a bit of a scheduling conflict with one of my guests. However, I will be in the comments live to respond to your questions and to address any of the comments that you may have. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that you're live with me and that you're going to share in this amazing interview that I recorded last night with my guests. Now, this show is dedicated to helping you to build healthier, stronger relationships through the understanding of our personalities. You know, it's sometimes challenging understanding each other because we speak from our own lens. You know, our personalities are the lens by which we view the world. Now, we are going to focus on the 4 personality styles. The 4 personality styles are the sanguine, the choleric, the melancholy, and the phlegmatic. In case you never heard of these terms before, especially if this is your first time ever hearing me speak or talk about these things, you can go to my website, Beyond2, BEYONDTWOLLC.com. That's Beyond2LLC.com. And you can find out more about the personalities. You can also get a personality assessment there and some other merchandise that will help you to understand your personalities. Now, let's talk a little bit about what tonight's segment is about. I'm excited. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to win in love and business, navigating personalities for success. We are going to explore the impact of personalities on our personal relationships and our professional relationships. We will dive into how understanding your personality can help you to communicate more effectively, avoid conflicts, and ultimately achieve your success in your business and professional goals. My guest and I will provide valuable insights and practical tips for navigating this complex area of personalities so that you can build healthier, stronger relationships and achieve your joint goals. That's what the show is about tonight. I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited that you're here to join me. And now I'm going to play the recording. I will be in the chat. I'll be answering any of your questions that you might have or comments. I'm expecting a surprise. One of my guests may pop on, and so that he can answer some questions as well. I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did doing it. Thank you. I want to introduce my friends. I love them to death. These are my friends I call serial entrepreneurs because they are killing the game. It's my friend Stan and Sharice Richards. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Dr. Ward, how are you?
Excited to be here.
Go ahead and claim that thing, that Dr. Ward business, because the real people need to know I'm not a doctor yet.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I want to introduce you guys. First of all, I want to introduce the fact that we have known each other for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
But you guys are power entrepreneurs. Power entrepreneurs, Sharice and Stan Richards, are redefining what it means to be successful in love. Everybody wants that key, okay? With a growing business and an appreciation for helping others reach their dreams, the Richards fully embrace the notion of being in love and in business, and they happily confess that you can have it all. I believe you can have it all. And I'm just glad that we can share with the people how they can have it all. Stan and Sharice quickly realized that they wanted more out of life for themselves and the betterment of their family. After spending years trading hours for dollars, the couple began a career in direct sales industry in 2006 and quickly rose to the top of their company. In just under 2 years, they both were able to retire from their 6-figure incomes and focus on family and building their business full time.
Woohoo.
That's what I'm talking about, right? Within 4 years, no, this is the whoop whoop. Within 4 years, they became 7-figure earners and helped other families become financially free. Today, they continue to educate, empower individuals and families on how to have strong minds, healthy bodies, and prosperity in every area of their lives through their Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise movement. In 2011, Stan and Sharice birthed a 501c3 called the Riches Group Foundation, where the mission is to educate and empower the youth to see beyond the limits of their circumstances. Through various programs, mentorship, and experiences, their goal is to help young people see a vision for their life, believe that vision, and then go after the vision until it becomes a reality. In 2013 and 14, their efforts gained national attention when my brother Stan Richards was nominated and won the Steve Harvey Neighborhood Award for Best Community Leader. Woohoo! Now that's a woo-woo. Both Stan and Sharice are published authors. Stan released his inspirational autobiography, From the Bus to the Bentley, No More Limits, and Sharice is the author of Faith, Focus, Action, The Journey to Becoming Who You Are. Welcome, fam. I'm so happy that you're here with me.
Thanks for having us,
Yes,
Doctor.
we're excited.
Thank you for coming on the show, because I think so many people want to understand how they can navigate their personal lives with business, their love life with business. And you guys, I know, are going to give them some amazing tips. But really, the truth is, I'm trying to draw my husband into business and ministry with me. And y'all know I'm a sanguine choleric. I'm having fun, but I'm about business. And he's a choleric sanguine. He's about business and then about fun. And when you have those two cholerics together, it's like two bulls in a china cabinet.
Yeah.
Woo! And trying to get on the same page, I don't know. You think we can make it, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, anything is possible.
Especially with your help. I think it is. So let's talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about you guys and how you fell in love and how you got into business. But before we do that, do you remember how we met?
Well, I used to work with your husband back in the old Metro days at Southeast Garage right there at South Capitol and M. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting about that is I heard about you for years before I actually met you, because every time we would see you at church or someplace, he would say, you know, that guy worked with me. He wrote a book called From the Bus to the Bentley. And I'm like, get out of here. He was so impressed with you. And so he just looked up to you, the kind of guy that really said, you know what, I don't have to work a 9 to 5. As you said in your bio, you turned dollars into what?
Hours into dollars.
Hours into dollars.
Yeah, hours into dollars, yeah.
Hours into dollars. I love that.
Yeah.
And so he always looked up to you. So hopefully we could take away some pointers from you guys. And what about, okay, Sharice, how did we meet?
Our good girlfriend, Dr. Celeste Owens.
Yeah. We met at one of her events at her house, and we started becoming friends. And then you and I went into a program with her called the Elite 13. Mm-hmm. And so we've been sisters ever since then. So I'm so thrilled that the two of you took time out of your really busy schedule to be able to do this recording. And we recorded this because you weren't going to be able to both make it tomorrow at 7. But I knew it was something that was going to really benefit everybody. So I want you to tell us a little bit about how you guys fell in love, how you met and how you fell in love.
Yeah, so we met when we were both working full time. I had my good old government job, and I'm going to date myself here, but I saw a flyer to a party that he was hosting because Stan was a big party promoter, unbeknownst to me at that time. But I saw his flyer and his name and his pager number. So my girlfriend and I said, hey, we want to go to this event. I'm going to beep Stan, whose name was first on the list, and you beat the second person. And whichever one responds first is, who we going to get the tickets from. So I beeped Stan. I know some people may be listening to this like, what do you mean beep?
Beep.
Beeper, pager, Google it if you're unfamiliar with it, but it was a thing. Okay.
Tell them Google it. Google it.
Google it. It was a thing. So I beeped Stan.
Yeah.
He responded, met me on the steps of my government building. And it was a connection. But I'll say this, it's so funny because I was suited and booted. I had my best corporate outfit on. And Stan was like, girl, why you have that big old suit on? I couldn't see a thing. This was later on down the road as we would look back. But so I went to the event, me and my girlfriend, and unbeknownst to me, Stan had his eyes on me.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on now. I'm sure you did, Stan.
Yeah, it was amazing when I went to drop the tickets off to her. Sharice had this nice little Halle Berry haircut, and she used to look just like Halle Berry. I'm telling
She
you.
still does to me. Actually, Halle has nothing on you, boo.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
You agree?
I agree.
Okay.
Okay, that's right. You better.
Love and business, right?
Right, that's right.
So when I met her to get the tickets, she was just drop dead gorgeous. Now, of course, she put on her best outfit that day. I didn't know anything about that, but for me at that point in my life, Karen, I was going through a divorce and I was a basket case, so I was all about the business. But I thought she was definitely breathtaking. So I sold her the tickets, got my money, of course, and got on out of there before I got in trouble. But then I seen her at the party. It was a Christmas party we were doing at Zanzibar down on the waterfront.
I remember Zanzibar.
Yes, that was the party place. And Sharice came and I seen her and I just said, wow, this girl, this lady is so beautiful. And but of course, timing wasn't good right then. For either of us. So afterwards, this is an amazing story here. Afterwards, my partners and I were settling up for the party, and I asked the guys, I said, "Did you guys see that girl that was around here tonight? She looked like Halle Berry." And all of them said, "Yeah, she's gorgeous." But one of my partners, Chris Bailey, Chris was working with Sharice at down at the Department of Transportation. And he was like, "Yeah, I know her. That's Sharice." I was like, "Okay." I tell you, we was selling up the money. I was like, if I ever see her again, she is mine. You hear me?
Uh-oh, come on now.
So Dr. Ward, 6 months later, we were doing another party and she showed up at that party. I hadn't seen her in 6 months. And that was I made my move at that party.
I know that's right.
We were together for 26 years.
Wow.
Years.
I'm so excited. 26 years. Girl, you don't look older than 26.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. But it's so funny because I never even saw the resemblance to you and Halle Berry until he's been saying that. And I'm looking at you. I can see a resemblance. But like I said, girl, and 26 years of marriage, he must have got you out the crib. No corporate job. He got you right out the cradle.
Actually, we dated for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
We dated for 3 years. We got married in 2000. So we're coming up on 23 years of marriage.
But 26 years together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So amazing. Dan and I are coming up on 29 years of marriage.
What?
Yeah. 29 in October and about 31 years of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo, yeah.
Blessing.
It's amazing though. It's amazing. Marriage is really it's to see the ups and downs and see where you flow. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
So tell me when you started dating each other, what was it about each other's personality that drew you to each other?
Yeah, so we had the best courtship because Stan the man. Like I still call him that today.
Hey.
He was Stan the man then. He still is Stan the man now. See, always making me laugh, fun. Because I'm more serious, reserved. I like to have fun too, but that's not my personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it is for him, right?
Right.
He's always the life of the party. So we just
Is it frozen or is it me?
I mean,
I'm
we
so
really
sick
are
of this.
opposites from that standpoint. So
I am so mad about this because this don't make sense.
we just, I mean, I guess
Oh my God.
I'm attracted to that part of his personality. Because he is the life of the party. He's so much fun. He's always upbeat, right? And
Right.
then he's
I'm not
probably, I mean, he
understanding
probably
why
is
it's
attracted to my
freezing.
side, my personality, where I'm more reserved, grounding him, you know, safe space where, you know,
Yeah, I would say that
more reasonable,
yeah,
more conservative. Like, well, let's consider this part,
yeah.
you know.
It's definitely a great balance. We've been
Yeah.
blessed because we have a great balance. But
Yeah.
Sharice, I think she's very misunderstood. Like, you know, a lot of people judge her because she is gorgeous. She's a beautiful woman, but her heart, Karen, she's really, to me, like a round the way girl. She's very smart.
Yeah.
And she has the whole package, in my opinion, but she can adapt to any situation. I love it because she can be corporate and she can be a little round the way too. So I love it. I got the whole package.
I love it.
Okay.
I'm a little round the way, Zing, because, and I think it's like a ride or die. Like you can always count on her to be there with you and for you, right? And I love that. I love that you are able to balance your personalities because I think a lot of couples end up not staying together because they haven't learned to balance the things that are different about our personalities. So you're more of an introvert, he's more of an extrovert. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so when you feeling low, he can bring you up. And when he's too all over the top, you can bring him down. You know, you balance each other out. And I think that's why you've been together for 29 years or 26 years. It's for that reason. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why you decided to go into business together.
Well, it kind of happened. Like, I don't think it was a deliberate decision, especially on my part, because Stan was always an entrepreneur, right? When I met him, he was an entrepreneur. So it was more natural to him and instinctive for him to see an opportunity and say yes to it, where my corporate logical mind had a deep down desire to go into business, but didn't have a strategy, didn't have a plan, didn't know anything about it. And so was kind of caught up in the corporate America route, especially having graduated with, you know, a undergrad degree, a graduate degree, had a good old 6-figure income job. I was kind of stuck there. So I give credit to my husband for, you know, being that one to kind of lead me out and lead us into this world of entrepreneurship. But I mean, so he saw an opportunity before I did, but he and I are so much like, I mean, we're married, we're partners, in love and in business. So what he does, I'm naturally going to support. And I think that's really how it started. Like I was just supporting him,
Right.
and then
Cause she was an undercover agent back then. She didn't want nobody to know that she was selling video phones.
I mean, it definitely was something that I had to get used to, right? But I appreciate the fact that I was like, we saw that in each other and kind of respected, like where we both were. So I would look at him and say, I did question, like, you see a business opportunity, but I didn't say stop.
Yeah. I want to ask a question. What are your personality styles?
So, introvert, extrovert.
Right.
I'm a choleric, right?
Choleric.
A choleric. I always
choleric. Right. You're choleric, but you're choleric melancholy, right?
Choleric melancholy. Yes.
Yes. And Stan, you are a sanguine choleric.
He's definitely yes. Yes.
You could be choleric sanguine or sanguine choleric, but you're both of those, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I brought that up because the cholerics are born leaders, and they can do anything they put their minds to. They can accomplish anything. They're normally the top of their game. So both of you have that attribute where you're both cholerics. And so I find that interesting, but the melancholy is very cautious. And when you were saying how he kind of led you into that whole entrepreneurship mindset, it's because although you have it in you, the melancholy will make you look at all, okay, is this feasible? Does it make sense? Do we have the money? What's the timeline? What's the plan? You know, all of those things which can hold you back and keep you stuck. And the choleric is like, let's do it. Let's move and do it. We can make it happen. We can do it on the fly. Don't worry about it. So I love that you saw the different things in each other because he needed you as much as you needed him. Because where you're pushing her to move forward and take risks and try things, she's like, okay, we can do these things, but let's make sure that we're doing them and we're considering all factors, that we have a great plan and we can execute the plan according to our timeline, that we have the funding. So that's a great balance that happens with the personalities that the two of you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you a question about what kind of personality traits that you think interfere with doing business together. You can start with your own. Like what things cause some friction or a little bit of conflict in being in business together?
Well, I'll tell you again, because we're opposites. I'm a risk taker and Sharice more conservative. So early on in the marriage, Karen, I would, it's nothing for me to take these high risks, go after these high risk opportunities. And, because Sharice always honored.
I'm so irritated.
Honored me as the leader of the family, she would just go along, but her wisdom would say, I don't know about that one. And then, early in the marriage, we.
Come on, stop doing this.
I would go on it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Don't worry about it. Let's just. Do it until I got my head smacked a few times and lost a lot of money. I learned to honor her wisdom. You follow me? So
yes.
Yeah. So she has something that I don't have. So whenever I'm going into a new project, I'll share with her and get her insight on it. And she always allowed me to make the final decision. But now I'm more cautious to take her perspective into great consideration before I pull the trigger on any big deals.
Because we know that the cholerics will pull the trigger and don't think they need any advice or help or anything. It's like, let me pull the trigger. Oh, really? Well, I'm sorry, babe. I should have thought about XYZ app, So for you to be able to recognize that was important. What about you, Sharice? Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Sometimes he moves too fast and that can be a problem. And sometimes I move too slow and that can be a problem. Right.
That's so true, though. And so recognizing that would help you to really balance the relationship, but also mitigate the damage that can happen to your personal relationship. Because when you're in business, unlike when you go to work and your coworker gets on your nerves, you can go home and be done with them, right? But when you're in business together and you have to make decisions together and you have to flow together, when you are in conflict in business, it can impact your marriage. Are there any way that has caused a problem in your relationship?
No, it hasn't. And as you were talking, I was just thinking about how fortunate we've become. That we have been. You would agree too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think we were mature enough to understand each other and carry that into the business. I think at the core, the foundation of our marriage, of course, is keeping Christ first, but we're friends. Like, I like him, he likes me. So the time that we spent together, we really enjoyed spending that time together. Yeah. I gave him what he needs in terms of respect. He gave me what I needed in terms of love. And we carried that into the business. And so it just created this atmosphere of, I trust you, you trust me. We're going, we're ride or die. And that was
I'm so irritated by this. Really, I am.
Important with the type of business that we had, because there were some times where I had to go off.
Technical stuff is
traveling
for the birds
by myself. That was a time.
Hopefully, you guys, it's going to clear up soon. It sounds like you can hear us, even though the the live stream is stalled for some reason. I'm trying to get technical help. And hopefully it'll come back in a second. It appears that whenever the live stream is stalled, you can hear us. But and Stan, you're on, right?
Yes.
So I'm glad you were able to join us, and I'm sorry that we're having.
I don't even do that anymore, right? I would go travel to cities by myself. He would go travel to cities by himself, and if we were not secure in ourselves individually and each other as a couple, that could have been problematic because
Sure.
there were times where I'm sure women were trying to come after you.
Hey.
It probably still is. I mean, because you fine and he's fine and you're gorgeous.
Right.
So
Right.
that really could have been a dilemma either way. And if anybody were trying to push up on you, and I'm sure there was some push-uppers.
Especially because we're in the people business.
Yeah.
And we're always around people, and people are pretty amazing. You know, but but just, as Cherie said, we had built this foundation of trust, and so we never really struggled in that area, and we've always been open to be able to share whatever we're going through or whatever our differences may be, and without feeling like we're going to be attacked or rejected or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand when you say we are in the people business. Yeah, and I could tell you that, especially with a sanguine personality, people misunderstand their friendliness, their kindness, their compliments as something else. And when you are around a lot of people, you're bound to meet some people who think you're trying to get with them just because you're friendly and nice and whatever, and you may even give them compliments. And people are attracted to powerful women, right? So I can see that happening as well. But I'm just amazed at your ability to be able to trust each other, especially because y'all around a lot of people. Y'all around a lot of people. Y'all had many conferences and events and been at a bunch of events. You was just at a major event. And so that is the kind of thing that you got to be able to trust your mate, and you got to be able to trust yourself that you can go and do what you got to do, and come home to a happy marriage. I'm excited about that because it is important to me, this topic about how you can win at love and business is important, because I think what you said so far is that the foundation is trust and respect.
Yeah.
So I love that. So let me ask you, do you believe that that personalities help you to communicate in business and personally? And if so, why?
Heck yeah. I mean, really, because it helps me to understand him and how he communicates, what he may be saying and not saying, and not expect him to say something or see a situation the way I would say it or the way I would see it. Right? Because I understand that he's more, I mean, this took some time, right? I mean, you gotta explain it like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and that comes with like learning your partner. And so when I say something and it may not, come across as clear, and he didn't do it the way I expected, or I need to repeat myself, I won't get mad because I already understand, how he thinks. Like even today, I asked, asked a question. I mean, we were talking about something, and he said the question that he asked was like, is it the car? Is it your car? And I was like, as far for a payment. He said, is that your car payment? And I was like, that's the only car payment we have. So it's mine. So,
Yeah, but you know,
like, so, but but see, he needs that level of detail. Like, and
But-
me
but-
being big, you know, I'm more lot. Wait a minute, go ahead, honey. What you want to say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you want? But I mean, that's true, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's true, but you know, I had to tell her, like, you know, and this is very key, you know, communication, because I had to tell her that don't expect me to learn like you learn.
right.
I mean, if you're going to teach me something, because I'm a visual learner,
Yeah.
okay, don't talk to me like I'm a 12-year-old,
I
because,
said 2-year-olds.
or 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, that's even better. But don't assume I know anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. But you know, a lot of times what bring conflicts into relationships is the person won't tell her what I need. Like I tell her,
Oh,
look,
yeah.
don't expect for me to know anything, because I don't think like you. We think totally different.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I understand that she's what we call an urchin. They're you know, they're real analytical and smart and people like. So
Yeah.
I you know, I treat her as such, and then for me, I explain to her, look, Sharice, don't expect me to know anything. If I come to you with a question, don't look like it as it's a dumb question. I'm asking because I don't know.
Right, right. But I appreciate that, because you're right. Because most melancholy personalities are highly intelligent people, and they think everybody else thinks just like them.
Yeah.
Most of us don't.
Guilty. Look, Karen, that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And so I had to learn that, because otherwise, like, that can be a source of conflict
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in a relationship if I wasn't willing to pause and seek to understand. Like, I
Yeah.
can't talk to him like he's me, and he
Right.
can't talk to me like I'm him.
Right.
And so I'm grateful that we've been able to grow and mature in that aspect of our relationship, where we kind of meet each other where we are, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't we don't trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just don't trip over the small stuff. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And I also know that choleric personalities, they tend to say what they mean at that time, but not always attach love to it. So it's just like you ask a question, yeah, of course. Why are you asking me that question? And you don't mean any harm by it, but it's of course in your head, and there you don't filter it to the mouth with love. So, unfortunately, and when you're task oriented, if you're busy, if anybody interrupts you, it's always going to get a look. You're going to get a look like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Like we're supposed to know that, you know, he's in here.
yeah, why you
working.
interrupting me? Because you know I'm
Or,
doing
you know, if he's on his phone, looking down at his phone and he's working, like, we're supposed to know that.
it. Right.
And, you know, it's like, no, I didn't know. Like, I didn't
Can
know.
you give any examples of successful couples that have worked together? Because I'm guessing, because you do seminars on love and business and helping couples to navigate this world of love and business. Do you have any couples that you know of that are really successful in love and business?
I mean, you know, that's a hard question, because for me, just coming off of the a big summit, I mean, a big conference with TD Jakes, seeing he and his wife interact,
Yeah.
her like reminding me of me, just soft spoken, and then him like being that big personality out front.
Yeah.
Their interaction, you know, it's like you don't have to like respect your partner for who they are and value what they bring to the table, and it doesn't have to be the same thing. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, even like with Pastor Jenkins, our pastor, and First Lady Trina, right? They are someone that, you know, we've always looked up to.
Yeah.
Right. Because of their different dynamic. Like they're two totally different personalities, but the way they're able to like work together from what we can see, at least what we can see.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. And I think it's interesting because there are a lot of very successful couples that work together. And I think because they really have found the understanding of their own personality, how they communicate, how they interact, what they need, and that of their spouse. And they're always looking to serve their spouse. Because I think you two would agree that you serve each other.
Yes.
That
Yes.
you literally serve each other. What Sharice needs, you want to make sure she has. And
Yeah.
what Stan needs, you want to make sure that he has.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think those are critical components
Yes.
in being successful in business and in your romantic relationship. So let me ask you this question. How can you set boundaries or even avoid conflict when working with your come on. This is a good question. So it needs to be spouse or your significant other in family or business. I mean, in your relationship or in business.
Well, I would say
there has to be some.
yeah, I would say going in, have a plan and stick to the plan. And that way that will alleviate all of the different conflicts and things like that. So Sharice and I in business, if we got a project we're working on or whatever, we sit down, we set a meeting, we sit down and we write it out. And, we don't go out the boundaries of the plan. We stick straight to the plan until the mission is complete. And that way you will alleviate all of the conflict and all of the things that could come up, along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
To communication. I mean, everyone, we used to do our training in front of thousands of people. And one of the 10 steps that we would share is the importance of communication. So we would have a shared vision, right? That's communicated. And like Stan said, that's what we're working towards. So we're not on, we're fortunate enough to not be going in two separate directions, but always kind of connected in how we move forward. And so that has avoided conflict. I mean, communication is.
It's so true. And that's an excellent point that you made. I want to know, what advice would you give couples who might be struggling to work together to, and keep their marriage happy?
Well, I would say.
Is there any that you might offer them?
Yeah, I would say to I always say this, I try to love Sharice the way she need to be loved versus the way that I need to be loved. Number one. Number two, I don't look to Sharice for my happiness. I don't, because she's a human being. So I don't look to her for my happiness, right? And then always be open to grow and change. Think about it, Doc. Nothing stays the same. This is not the woman that I married in 2000. So we are constantly growing and evolving. But here's the beautiful thing about that. I'll share with you. I was just thinking about this the other day. As I get older, I'm 61 years old now. As I get older, I find myself studying my wife. And I find myself falling in love with her more and more every day as I get older, because I'm getting wiser. Does that make sense? So as I grow and get wiser, I can appreciate, the woman that God has blessed me with. And I was just thinking about that the other day. Now I'm more in tune to her more today than yesterday.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
No, really, that's just not a, let me just say this. That's just not a, I'm speaking from the heart, not just, this just not a play on words, but I shared this with her the other day. Every day I find myself waking up saying, okay, what can I do to make her life better? Not looking at, okay, what am I going to get out the deal?
Yeah.
But how can I do the dishes? How can I do this or do that to get her car washed? How can I make her life better? And not looking for anything in return.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to what you said.
I love
earlier,
it. I love that.
Karen, about us serving each other, right? And when it comes down to your values, right? Gender has no play in it, has no role in it, right? And so it doesn't, who says that the women have to do the dishes, right? Because if he values me and sees me and sees there a need in the household, then
just do it.
You clean the kitchen. Now he cleans the kitchen better than me, and it's a tremendous help. I mean, I'm like, you go, boy. You clean that kitchen, and you do a way better job than me. You better wash them dishes. You better wash them. Now he ain't gonna cook no dinner.
No,
but he will go out to get dinner, or so it comes down to seeing a need. I think sometimes, for couples that may be struggling, comes down to a couple things that, like Stan said, like, don't have your happiness dependent on another person.
Right.
Find out what you like. Like, so I like to, like, he likes to go to the gym to work out. I don't. Right. And so he goes to the gym, he works out, he has his little yoga crew, they have a good time, and he runs, and he comes back home and he's happy. And I'm happy for him. And then I'm able to go downstairs in our basement, ride my Peloton, have a good time. Come back, we both get what we need, because you're individuals, right?
Yes.
What do you love? What do you like? And then you come back together as a couple, you're both fulfilled. Because in marriage, right, it's two whole beings. It's two whole humans. It's two whole individuals.
Right.
That's coming together. Not, I need you, you need me. Of course we need each other.
Right.
Right. But we know what we're able to go and do what we love, respect each other, allow each other to do that, and then come back together.
But it's so amazing, real quick, Dr. Ward. But so amazing.
Keep calling me Dr. Ward and call me.
I'm going to call you that forever. Okay. So what's amazing? She mentioned the dishes, right? Mm-hmm. And I found myself going to do that kitchen and doing my very best in that kitchen because I just want her hear her say, "Man, you do a great job on this kitchen," right? And let me tell you, all the ladies that's listening. All your husband wants to know is that he's the king and he's staying the man.
That's right.
That's all we want to know.
That's right. That's right. That's why I did. My husband does all the laundry, and he won't come in the kitchen either, and I'm okay with that because the very first and last time he cooked for me was the very first and last time I needed him to. So I do all the cooking and he does all the laundry. Today he was washing dishes. So hello. And he did a great job at washing the dishes.
But it's so important that you let him know he's doing a great job. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Men, we just want to feel appreciated by our wives, our spouses,
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact that you were saying too, Sharice, that it's two whole human beings coming together with two different perspectives, with two different personalities, actually 4 different personalities, because you have a primary and a secondary. So with 4 different personality styles coming together with 2 different life experiences, with different sets of hurts and disappointments and triumphs. And all of those things, you're marrying those things together, and you have to come together and balance. But one thing I recognize too is that life is a cycle, and it's actually more like a roller coaster. It goes up and it comes down. It goes up and it comes down. It goes up and it comes down. And when you're up, you ride that baby, because it's going to come down, but that's okay. It's going to go back up.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing I love about marriage. And I'm just so appreciative that you guys were on the show today to talk about that and business, because it's one thing to navigate a marriage. It's quite another to navigate a marriage or a love relationship and business.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've worked with people, and it's not easy just working with people, let alone being married to them. But you've given me so much hope that my husband and I can be in love and business too. So I appreciate that. And I want to wrap up the show. I know that this is pre-recorded. We're going to run it tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'm going to end this by opening up some questions in a few minutes for our live audience, because I'll be live and Stan is going to pop on with me live so that we can answer whatever questions you might have for us. But meanwhile, tell people how they can get in touch with you. Well, first tell us, is there anything coming down the pike for the two of you? And then how can people get in touch with you and purchase your books?
Well, I mean, Stan and I always like talking about doing something like this, right? Coming on, doing some live, sharing our perspective. And so, that will be coming down the pike, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And so, yeah, I mean, they can purchase our books on our website. Mine is ShariceRichards.com. His is StanRichardsOnline.com. And we're all over social media at Stan Richards and at Sharice. And so people can find us very easily. We'd love to connect, stay in touch, and support any way we can.
Awesome. Yep. I'm going to, you're going to send me your information, and I'm going to put it on the YouTube page, on the LinkedIn page, and Facebook. It goes on all on my social media platforms. To make sure people can get a hold of you. I thank you so much for joining me. I know you guys are pretty busy folk, but you still stepped out for us, sister, and I really appreciate you for joining me on Personality Speaking, where the personality is always hot. Thank you, guys. I love you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, Stan.
Hey, Doc. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming back tonight. I know you guys are pretty busy. There's some really nice comments in the comments area for you. Everybody enjoyed the live. I've enjoyed it. I'm so happy. I'm trying to figure out why that's coming back up. Hold on. Remove you. Yeah, there it is. But anyway, I took away some really good nuggets. I hope some of our audience got to catch some of those things. If not, catch the replay. But I just wanted to say that some of the things that you guys mentioned was to really be able to navigate your personalities in love and in business, and to really to win at it and be successful at it. You got to have good communication. I love you said you got to have a plan and stick with the plan. Because, some personalities don't even want to have a plan. They just want to jump into whatever. That you should have a shared vision, like to come together and have a shared vision. I love that. You should love, trust, and respect one another. That you love, that you should love your spouse the way they need to be loved. I love when you said that.
Yeah.
I love when you said that, because sometimes we want love a certain way and we expect that our spouse wants it the same way, and that's not the way it is. And then you live for making sure that your spouse is happy, I think is amazing, and how you can make her life better. Those are some of the things I got from the takeaway, and I just hope that people were able to take away some of those nuggets. Is there anything else you want to share before we leave tonight?
Yeah, speaking of loving her the way that she needs to be loved, I remember early on in our marriage, Sharice likes cards, and
Hmm.
I hate cards. I mean, I really don't care for cards, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so I used to miss the mark all the time because I would go out and buy her an expensive gift with no card. And
Mm.
then, she would be looking funny, and I felt like she didn't appreciate it because I might have spent $1,000 on this gift, but she really wanted the card. And I didn't, it took me a few years to understand that it's not about the gift, the cost of the gift, or the size of the gift. It's about the way that she needs to be loved. And the way that she needs to be loved is she like cards, she likes service. So I like to do things for her, in advance, because those are things that she like. Now, so all of that comes with Doc. It comes with time and experience, and just understanding. I mean, marriage is it's a beautiful thing. We know it's of God. It's a beautiful thing. But when you can come together and really connect with your spouse, not trying to be perfect, but just connect with your spouse, be there, grow, and spend time. That's another thing. Like, I was chasing money in the early beginnings of our marriage, and she needed time. She rather had
Yes.
time. And I always tell a story prior to us becoming full-time entrepreneurs, back in 2005, my wife didn't like me and my kids didn't know me because
Oh,
I was always in Southeast driving the bus to make this money to pay for all of this stuff. And she didn't care about this stuff. She wanted the time.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like her. I'm that person too. My husband and you work together.
Yeah.
So, and he still works like that, but he's gotten so much better because he makes sure if I really want to do something or go somewhere, he's taken off to make sure that he can accommodate that and spend the time. And I'm sure our kids wish that he had done more of that when they were younger. They're adults now, but we give time to the grandkids and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
But I'm just thankful that he recognized that it's never too late.
Right.
It's never too late to change course and do the things that's important to your relationship. Because if you don't have a happy home, you certainly won't be happy in business.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it could tear the business apart.
Yeah.
I've seen couples, I mean, the business just to tear the whole marriage apart and become costly down the road, and it gets ugly. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I do know. So somebody had a question here. Um, Hello, Stan. I really enjoyed this program. What would you say as it relates to Sharice about Sharice that inspires you the most as your partner in marriage and in business? Oh, that's a good question.
Well, what inspires me is that to see where she come from. When Sharice and I first started dating, we both came out of 2 prior marriages. So she was very introverted. She was a good government worker, scared of her own shadow. I mean, she was very timid. And so, I used to reinforce how awesome she was and how great she was. And then when we went in business together, it was all about Stan Richards, Stan the man. And she was in the background. And I really encouraged her to get out front and do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now to see what she's doing is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Because she has transitioned from being a government worker to network marketing, now a full-time entrepreneur in the finance space,
Wow.
in her own business. And that's like 3 different industries.
That's amazing. But see, I met her after all of that. So I met the dynamic woman that she is now. I can't even imagine her being the timid and behind the scenes kind of person at all.
Yeah, she was very timid, but I mean, and she helped me in a lot of areas too, in terms of when we first started speaking again, because a low self-image and self-esteem coming off the bus, blue collar work,
Yeah.
high school educated. You know, I didn't think I was worthy to speak in front of thousands of people.
Wow.
So she really helped me to get comfortable in front of a crowd, get comfortable in front of a camera. So it's that give and take. I mean, it's amazing, and we still do it today. I'm her coach now. Like, I still push her, you know, to be like #1 at what she's doing. You know, don't be comfortable, don't be lax. You know,
Yeah.
and, because you know that's my strength right there. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Well, I thank you so much, Stan, for popping on to answer any questions that the audience has or had. I know that you guys, I hope that we can do this again, because I think you have so many nuggets that you can pass on, and not just about love and business, because your love relationship is amazing all by itself. So we could talk about some other things too. But tell the people again how they can reach out to you or get your book or your products before I wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm on social media, Facebook, Instagram, DMV Stan, and then my website is stanrichardsonline.com.
Awesome. And I'm Karen Ward, Advanced Certified Personality Trainer. You can reach me on my website at beyond2llc.com. That's BEYONDTWOLLC.com. I'm excited about next week's guest. I'm going to run a little promo video, and I will see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Personality Speaking, where the personality is always hot. Thank you, Stan. I love you.
Thank you.
Okay, the video didn't run, but next week you can see us here with my guests. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if it's going to pop in. Okay, I don't know if you guys got to see that or not, but it's on my website. I will see you next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you until I see you next week. Take care. And I saw you guys about the technical difficulties we had again this week. We're trying to work through them, but thank you for being patient and standing with me, because it is a new show and a new platform. So I appreciate all of your support as we muddle through and get all those things fixed. Take care, and I love you, and see you next week. Bye-bye.